CMIT solutions, which, I say nearly every week, completely managed IT is certainly what we do. And that means it's really, if it beeps, blinks, lives in the internet, that is what we take care of. A lot of businesses do have a trusted advisor in terms of being able to have a legal counsel, but a lot of people don't have someone to be able to take care of their IT. And then they run into an IT problem and they have nobody to be able to call. Or they're a business that is working with an IT provider, but when you find out and talk with them a little bit, that IT provider isn't responsive. They just react whenever you call them. They're not actively a part of your business. And that's really one of our big differentiators. I have a staff that cares. They care about people. They love to be helpers. They love to be able to jump in. And so we do work very closely with each one of our clients. They're not just a number. They're not just, somebody that's paying us on a regular basis, but it is about being able to make sure that they are productive, they are safe. And so essentially, CMIT is all about being able to say, I don't want to worry about that scary world of the internet. And it is very, very scary out there. And that's really, what it's all about. I've been doing this now for 15 years. And it is a part of the structure of a franchise. So I am one of now 275 owners on a national basis. And each one of us have really a minimum of 15 years of experience being able to listen and work with small business pockets, as well as being able to do some very sophisticated, work as well. So essentially, we do look at technology to be able to say there are four major things that we want to be able to educate our clients about. It's where is your data? And gone are the days when your data was just in your office or just on your hard drive or on your server. Your data now is scattered all over the place. It's in the cloud, it's on your hard drive, it's on here, it's on there. You may be hosting your application with some third-party service, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But it's also about being able to defend that network. Every single day, we open up the newspaper and we see that, ransomware has occurred here, a pipeline, a government area. What you don't hear of are the small businesses that are also absolutely underneath attack. And we deal, unfortunately, with cyber incidences happening on an all too regular basis to small and mid-sized businesses. These are companies that even if they're carrying cyber insurance, the disruption and the downtime and the embarrassment and the loss of clients from a cyber incident when all of a sudden you're emailing a ransomware virus out to everybody. We eliminate chaos, and that becomes because it is so complicated these days to be able to deal with technology. It is changing and changing on a constant basis. So we take that complexity away and say, listen, we're going to let you know what you need to be able to worry about, and we're here to be able to make you productive. And that productivity comes in being able to make sure that you know how to be able to work with your email, you know how to be able to work with your integration that is available, maybe in maybe something like a legal system like Clio. Turns out there's a whole bunch of integration, and we help clients be able to find that productivity to be able to move forward and be able to just, spend less time on the burdensome things having to be able to do with IT. So I talked about that overall advantage, and this slide kind of captures it all. We care, and that's the big thing that I hear from a lot of new companies that we're talking about, is that their current provider, they never hear from them. We meet with our clients either monthly or on a quarterly basis. We have the advantage of being able to have this entire crowd of other people, 25 people in our home office, a dedicated product team. And so things like the fact that signature-based antivirus is dead. It is a dinosaur. So your Norton, your Webroot, your Viper, talk to anybody from a cybersecurity perspective, and it's dead. Well, it's been dead for us for 18 months, and we've moved everybody to what is very nicely now called next generation antivirus software. And this is a question that's being asked on the top, on right there onto the cybersecurity insurance areas. So if you go for an application, you're going to need that. We also now have a presence, a physical presence, and an ability to be able to handle on an on-site perspective clients throughout Connecticut and Westchester County. About 18 months ago, I took on the Hartford office of CMIT, as well as now being able to have run the Stamford office since 2005. So that gives us a great footprint, and I have my people literally scattered all over the state to be able to make sure that we can get to people very, very quickly. We also end up with a lot of deep capabilities in terms of different industries. And so if I do a quick, kind of share here, there's a whole part of this slide deck, which is a deck that I use with a lot of clients to get us new prospects. And you'll see here, we've got the individual understanding of what's happening in manufacturing, in education, in hospitality. Financial services has a whole nother, deck that I use for medical, legal. Those are just some of the industries that we spend with on a, and really have expertise beyond just being able to say you've got, a Windows overall area. So this is just a little bit about what it is that we do. What I would say is that we know IT. Technology is something that we live and breathe with. I hire people who just are simply hungry about it. We're responsive, we follow up, we follow through. Everything is on a ticket, as any of you that already work with us know, and we will follow up with you until you reboot that machine or get back to us because there's something wrong. We care about you and your business, and we see our growth as part of being very much hinged on being able to grow our clients. So clients that are great matches for us that are often very IT needy is medical, asset management, legal, manufacturing. And recently we've had a great run on being able to help new businesses be able to launch. We've had a new trust and estates business. We've had an employment law business. We have had 2 medical businesses. And all help them be able to go from pre-construction to being able to have their offices up and ready, and then being able to focus on the finer aspects of things. So that's what I've got to be able to kind of talk about. So we've got a minute or two, if I did this correctly, for some questions.
Linda, I have a question for you. What is the sweet spot in terms of company size for CMIT?
It's interesting because we have 2. It is the 10 to 40 space, which is a great sweet spot. Very obvious. They need somebody to be able to take their technology. Our other sweet spot ends up in the I'd say 1 to 350 workstation area, in which case what we do is something we call co-managed IT. We actually align together with the internal department, which a lot of times comes down to 1 person or 2 people maybe, and they don't have network experts and everything else. So we either take away the minutiae so that those internal people can work on projects, or we take on the heavy lifting of being able to do the, let's move you to the cloud, let's be virtual, let's have a completely strong security offering.
Great, thank you.
Maybe time for one more question.
What about Macs?
We love Macs. We are bilingual. We are actually trilingual for those of you that know something about also, pure Linux-based systems. But I'm actually presenting on a Mac. And so Macs we can also take from the basics all the way to a pure, being able to work in medical and have it in a secure environment. Macs are not invulnerable. They need antivirus.
Linda, I have a Mac. Tell what it is. What is the protection that I have through you?
A product called Sentinel One. So it not only checks for known viruses, but it checks for behavior changes on a laptop or any kind of machine. And so we recently had a medical office that did have a Mac that got infected, and the product beautifully locked the machine down so that it could not have that ransomware travel throughout the network. And yes, even Macs get ransomware.
All right. Well, thank you guys. If you haven't done a one-on-one with Linda, not only should you do it because you'll learn a ton, but if you get to do it at her house, you'll see the most amazing pool you've ever seen in your life. So definitely set that up.